America is running out of electricity, not in the dramatic blackout sense, yet, but in a quieter, more dangerous way. Demand is rising faster than the grid was ever designed to handle. Data centers are multiplying. AI is consuming power at unprecedented rates. Electric vehicles are shifting millions of homes from gasoline to electrons. And the uncomfortable truth is this: the existing energy system is not ready. In the middle of this pressure, Cooker sits a company making one of the boldest bets in modern energy history. A company that believes the future of American power doesn't come from bigger grids, longer transmission lines, or massive power plants, but from compact nuclear reactors scattered across the country. This is Oklo, and in 2025, their $850 million gamble is no longer theoretical. Here on Innovation Corner with Dan, we don't chase hype. We follow the money, the technology, and the consequences. Today, we're going inside Oklo's vision, their risk, their setback, and the question that now defines them. Can mini-reactors actually power America? To understand why Oklo exists, you have to understand what makes the current nuclear industry almost impossible to scale. Traditional nuclear plants are built as one-off mega projects. Each one is custom designed, custom built, and deeply entangled with local politics. They take years just to approve and even longer to construct. Costs explode, schedules slip, and by the time they come online, the energy landscape has already changed. Oklo looked at that model and rejected it entirely. Their approach is radically different. Instead of building large plants meant to feed electricity into a vast grid, Oklo is designing small, self-contained nuclear reactors meant to operate independently or semi-independently. These reactors are not chasing size. They are chasing simplicity. At the core of Oklo's strategy is a compact, fast reactor design that prioritizes long life, minimal maintenance, and extreme efficiency. Their reactors are designed to operate for many years without refueling. No constant fuel deliveries, no complex on-site fuel handling, just steady, reliable power. This is not an accident. It's a direct response to the biggest operational weakness of nuclear power: complexity. The simpler the system, the fewer things can go wrong. In 2025, Oklo's valuation has climbed to roughly $850 million, not because they've built dozens of reactors, but because they've convinced investors and partners that their model solves a real problem. And that problem is not electricity generation, it's deployment. America doesn't just need more power, it needs power in the right places at the right time without waiting 15 years. That's where Oklo's mini-reactors come in. Instead of serving entire cities, these reactors are designed to serve specific customers: remote industrial sites, military bases, data centers, isolated communities, locations where grid access is weak, unreliable, or non-existent. In these environments, energy is not a commodity, it's a bottleneck. Today, many of these sites rely on diesel generators. They are expensive, polluting, and logistically fragile. Fuel has to be transported, prices fluctuate, supply chains break. Oklo's pitch is simple: replace all of that with a nuclear system that runs quietly for years. But this is where Oklo's gamble becomes very real, because nuclear power is not just a technical challenge, it's a regulatory one. Oklo's early journey was not smooth. The company faced regulatory rejection in its earlier licensing attempts, a moment that forced it to pause, regroup, and redesign parts of its strategy. For many startups, that would have been the end. For Oklo, it became a reset. Instead of abandoning their vision, they leaned deeper into it. They refined their reactor design. They strengthened their regulatory approach. And most importantly, they aligned themselves with customers who understood the value of what they were offering. In 2025, Oklo is no longer trying to convince everyone. They are focusing on those who already need what they're building. One of the most important elements of Oklo's reactor design is passive safety. This means the reactor is engineered so that physics itself helps keep it safe. If something goes wrong, the system naturally moves toward a safe state without requiring human intervention or external power. This is not just a safety feature, it's a trust feature. Public fear of nuclear energy is deeply tied to images of loss of control. Systems that rely on active cooling, human decisions, and constant oversight feel fragile. Oklo's design philosophy flips that narrative. Another critical element is fuel utilization. Oklo's reactors are designed to extract significantly more energy from nuclear fuel than traditional reactors. This reduces waste, increases efficiency, and improves economics. And economics matter more than ideology. In 2025, energy decisions are being driven less by climate argument and more by cost, reliability, and speed. If Oklo can deliver power that is cheaper over the long term than diesel and more reliable than renewables alone, the market will listen. But the question remains, can this scale? Powering America is not a small ambition. Even if Oklo succeeds technically, manufacturing enough reactors, licensing enough sites, and deploying them fast enough is an enormous challenge. This is where Oklo's modular approach becomes essential. By standardizing reactor designs, Oklo aims to manufacture reactors like products, not projects. That shift could dramatically reduce costs and timelines. Instead of reinventing the wheel every time, you replicate a proven system. This is the same logic that transformed industries from aviation to computing. Yet, nuclear energy has never fully embraced this model. Oklo is trying to change that. And that's why their gamble is so risky, because if they fail, it won't just be a company failure. It will reinforce the belief that nuclear innovation is too hard, too slow, too constrained. But if they succeed, the impact could be enormous. Imagine an America where energy is decentralized, where critical infrastructure doesn't depend on long transmission lines, where communities can host their own reliable, clean power sources, where AI growth is not limited by electricity shortages. This is the future Oklo is betting on, and it's not happening in isolation. In 2025, policymakers are increasingly open to advanced nuclear solutions. Grid operators are sounding alarms about capacity shortages. Corporations are desperate for stable power to support digital expansion. The environment is changing, and timing matters. We pay attention to timing because that's where opportunity lives. Oklo's technology might have been dismissed a decade ago. Today, it feels inevitable. Still, challenges remain. Public acceptance is not guaranteed. Regulatory frameworks are still adapting. Manufacturing scale has not yet been proven, and competition is fierce. Other companies are building small reactors. Others are chasing fusion. Others are doubling down on renewables plus storage. Oklo's success depends on execution, not just vision. But there's something uniquely compelling about their approach. They are not promising a miracle. They are offering a tool, a practical solution to a specific problem. And those are the innovations that quietly reshape the world. There is a challenge facing Oklo that has nothing to do with uranium, reactor physics, or manufacturing timelines. It's something far more difficult to engineer: trust. For decades, nuclear energy in America has existed in a strange contradiction. On paper, it is one of the safest and cleanest energy sources ever created. In public perception, it remains associated with fear, secrecy, and catastrophe. This gap between reality and perception has quietly killed more nuclear projects than technical failures ever did. And this is where Oklo's gamble becomes truly different. When power comes from hundreds of miles away, people don't think about how it's made. When power comes from something local, people want answers. Oklo understands this, which is why their strategy in 2025 is as much about transparency as it is about technology. Their reactors are designed to be understandable in principle, even to non-engineers. Long-life cores reduce operational complexity. Passive safety systems reduce reliance on human decision-making. Fewer moving parts mean fewer failure scenarios. This matters because nuclear fear is rooted in the idea of loss of control. Oklo's design philosophy is built around the opposite idea: systems that remain safe even when no one is actively managing them. In a world where people distrust institutions, automation paired with physical safety constraints becomes a form of reassurance. When these reactors operate quietly, year after year, without incident, something powerful happens. Nuclear energy stops being a headline and starts being infrastructure, and infrastructure is trusted when it works. This is why Oklo's first deployments matter far more than their long-term vision. One successful reactor does more to rebuild nuclear credibility than 100 speeches or policy papers. The moment these systems demonstrate reliability in real-world conditions, the narrative begins to shift. As 2025 unfolds, Oklo stands at a crossroads. Their $850 million valuation reflects belief, but belief must be converted into reality. The coming years will determine whether mini-reactors remain a niche solution or become a foundational part of America's energy system. Because the question is no longer whether America needs more power. The question is whether it's ready to accept a new way of generating it, where we take big ideas, break them down, and follow them to their real-world consequences.